Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights of today's Demacia Cup matchup.
From 100 to 0, even with these three, if he can get his passive back up, that empowered W is such a nuisance to deal with. Still a few seconds away, but they're gonna start this dive off now.
All right, Hong tanks up the turret, aggro, ZDZ gets knocked up, the spears, there's that empowered you were talking about. Hong, wait a minute, he's got the minion Nico passive.
Oh, but the healing.
But ZDZ's still healing because he's autoing Tian under the tower. But eventually, Weibo Gaming pull off the dive with no deaths on their side. First blood.
Right now, Weibo doing everything in their power to deny this from happening. Another stacked wave. Xiaohu's here, and Tian's even on the way, but they're starting this dive off now.
I mean, he can grab the Seraphine ulti and have access to an Encore before Wink is even level 6 himself. And now Tian is going to roam on over. This is a 4-on-2. Encore hits onto both targets here. Wink is trying to body block so that ZDZ can survive, but he will fall. Xiaohu takes it, and Hong once again, power of the cannon minion, allows Nico to take up as many turret shots as he needs to. And this dive will take no prisoners from the side of Weibo Gaming unless Angel can find some salvation or redemption kill. But everyone else gets out alive because what can Victor do this early on? What is he going to do? Flash and Chaos Storm with practically no items under his belt? So this is a massive win for Weibo.
We come out of the replay. EDG are here on the grubs first. They don't quite have numbers for the time being, but the collapse is going to come in shortly.
They need to save an Angel. Hong gets nailed by the arrow despite flashing away. Xiaohao picks up that one. But Tian is going to take this moment to sneak over one of these grubs while the rest of EDG formed a death squad towards that top side. Xiaohu has returned to the river, takes the arrow for himself, but I don't think there's going to be an engage from Weibo Gaming. It's just going to try to use the arrow to disengage, but Tian's got nowhere to run, no time to flash, as Xiaohao pulls the trigger with that Cyclone, now looking for Xiaohu, and Weibo Gaming might have bit off more they could chew. Xiaohao dashes over the wall.
Could be seeing a play here, mid lane.
Nice. Glacial Prison on to assume. Xiaohao will try to deter the engage. Nice use of the Encore to lock up Light, but he takes out Xiaohao before they can get any damage back. Light is below 200 HP, and Hong might have gone a little too far forward. I'll assume using the power of those arrows in the slow, but Tian will now body block using his own body. Light goes in a little too far, but they take out 2 for the effort. And for EDG's bot lane,
2 early dragons to the scaling side of EDG. Weibo, despite all of the early skirmishing power that their champions can be afforded, just haven't been able to find the time to, or haven't made the time to pick up those dragons. But this TP is going to come down. There's 3 members here and ready to dive ZDZ.
He flashes away, tries to buy as much time as he can, but with 4 members diving you, I don't know how long you can last, but credit to EDG. They bought enough time for Angel to pick up first brick on the Wink, but if Weibo Gaming can continue to rely on Light jumping forward, as Xiaohu is going to send an arrow mid lane, sails on wide.
They're really understanding what the win cons are for Weibo, and they're doing an excellent job of denying that away. And as they start up this dragon, this is where it could get dicey. This is the opportunity really for Weibo to try and pull the trigger and find a successful fight.
There's some good wards for TP flanks if Xiaohu wants to pull the trigger, and that's what exactly he is going to do. Not sure which ultimate he's going to grab, but if he's got the pick of the litter, Encore would be great from this angle, and Ash Arrow could single one target. Hong goes in, Pop Blossom on a 3. Here comes the fight. Xiaohu tries to flank, but EDG immediately turn on to the flanker, and Xiaohu is getting singled out by Xiaohao. He's forced to flash over the wall, but Weibo Gaming pushed through the other side of the fight, taking out the main frontliner ZDZ, and now it's a 5-on-4 advantage for the side of Weibo.
Yeah, I mean, Weibo, this was their opportunity, right? They've got this big gold lead space that Weibo needed, along with Xiaohu, for, again, Light to just open up, right? Takes down the frontliner. There's not really much ZDZ can do. He's just being good at it in the middle of 3 members. But as we come out of the replay, Assume's dead.
And it doesn't stop. The momentum has started for Weibo Gaming, and now multiple...
So 2IM Callista on, the 20-minute mark. This Baron is, tankier than older iterations, but still very easy to take down. I just don't think there's anything that EDG can do about this. Assume can send out a Hawk Shot on an arrow. That's going to give them a little bit of information, but at 5k already, Rafa, this thing's gone.
Xiaohao would have to pull off a miracle, 2k HP. He can't get into the pit. Hong doing a great job of body blocking him and ensuring he does not get into the club. Weibo Gaming now should be able to have a clean reset on this Baron.
Let's see what they can actually get done down here on the bottom side. Because again, the scaling threat, the wave clear as well, is going to, again, regain its power as soon as this Baron is lost.
Arrow flies, it hits Tien. Xiaohao's gonna go in, tries to lock down the tank under the tower, force the flash away, but Xiaohao gets completely annihilated. But the amount of damage that Weibo Gaming were able to put out as Light rips 1,000 spears out of the Monkey King's back. And now EDG, without a jungler, don't have really any more engage tools as they use pretty much everything here, Jamada.
Yeah, they did, and it still seems like Weibo are gonna get the most out of all of this. 2 tier 2s, mid and bot. There's a top wave being pinged as well, so we'll see what Breeve's going to end up doing here. As arrow lands onto ZDZ, teleport's coming in as well. Breeve is very tanky Cassante.
Yeah, tanks it up and barely loses, I want to say, more than 1/5 of his HP. Still has about 3/4 to play with. Hong goes in, forces a couple of summoner spells out of the teammates of EDG. They lose the inhibitor tower, but now have all 5 members once again. But meanwhile, Xiaohu in the mid lane, pressuring for that middle exposed inhibitor. These are 2 open structures now that Weibo Gaming can look for, but they've used a fair share of their tools. They don't want to have to risk anything in a lot of the carries for Weibo Gaming versus EDG. Light having finished 3 items and the Terminus, that makes any marksman that buys it so deceptively hard to kill because you are getting so many resistance.
He's willing to pull the trigger, man. That's the thing about Hong, you know. His 2023 year in particular was one where he really opened the eyes of a lot of LPL watchers. And then this year, he was a lot more restrained, a little bit more calculated, but still very aggressive. And speaking of aggression, Breeve's gone forward here. He could very easily be taken down, and I think that is going to be what happens. Though he's Cassanteing.
He's so damn taking, man. I mean, he finally goes all out and is just now dropping below 50% HP, and he still doesn't die. Meanwhile, Xiaohu is just wondering, hey guys, y'all doing good over there? And he's like, I'm taking this turret on the top side of the map. Breeve has done his job. His teleport is not coming up for quite some time, so he cannot rejoin if Weibo Gaming wanted to continue the siege. But Baron is spawning in the next 50 seconds.
To sit here in fog and be very, very threatening. And if you split up like this, EDG, one person getting caught out, you just lose the game.
Yeah, remember, EDG's composition is stronger when all grouped together. If they're ever split up, as Xiaohao was trying to look for the flank on the right side, and Weibo Gamer is just gonna pull Han! Pop Blossom! Flash over the wall! That's gonna set up the engage, and Xiaohu is completely isolating Assume from the rest of the fight, cannot assist with any of his fellow EDG comrades. The fight completely won and absolutely dominated by Weibo Gaming in a stellar Game 1 performance, and they'll be taking the first game of the series.
What an engage from Hong. 3-man Homer on the front line to really just put the nail in the coffin of EDG, and that will be game 1. Weibo, after the first 20 minutes, I was a little bit worried, but once they had that opportunity to pick up that Baron, it was all go, no breaks, and they will be moving into game number 2, 1 up.